Once again, we are here with you in our talk show with the expert. Our today's guest is Mr. Tarun Mathur. So, first of all, we'll introduce him. I'll invite Dhruv to introduce Tarun. The, Dhruv.
A very good evening, everyone. So, I would like to welcome. Today, we are here to talk about career guidance for budding engineers. So, for that, I would like to welcome our today's expert, Mr. Tarun Mathur, a software architect, and he's been working for Resolve System, world leader market in computer-aided design and product management, product lifecycle management product in South Carolina, USA. Basically, having a impeccable experience in product lifecycle management domain, and he's worked globally with customer sites in same domain implementation. So I would like to hand over to our expert for more briefing. Sir, you are mute actually.
Okay, can you hear me, Dhruv and Yogesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A very good evening to all of you back in India, and very good morning to my folks here in US. And first of all, I would like to thank ICFI Jaipur University for giving me this opportunity to come and take this webinar and have an interaction with the budding engineers. So this is my first opportunity to uh, interact with the graduating students, and that too back in India. So I'm sure that privilege is going to be mine. So I'm already introduced. So I will quickly introduce myself, very short and crisp. I am having 15 years of experience in product lifecycle management and CAD. I'm been associated with the Dassault System, which is a world market leader in PLM for and CAD for more than 11 years. And in my career, before coming to US in April 2014, I had an engagements in Japan, South Korea, and Italy. And so I have seen the geographies, I have seen different cultures. So I'm very happy that I have given an opportunity where I can share my experiences. And I'm sure that that will help the young engineers when they will start coming into the industry. So, coming back to the topic of today's webinar, that is career guidance for budding engineers. So, when I so recently, what happened was when I looked at the audiences, if I have to see you guys, so I assume that you guys are in the age groups of 18 to 22 years. And fortunately, at the same time, I have three nephews who are actually graduating from top institutes. Two of them are from coming from IIT Guwahati and one from MNIT Jaipur. So I told myself that I don't really need to talk anything new. What I have been talking to them for last 4 to 5 years. So very recently, I have seen them taking their 12th class exams and then preparing for the India's biggest technical entrance exam, that is IIT. And then I have seen them going to the engineering college, uh, work hard, prepare for their placement, and soon they will be come out uh, being an engineer. So one thing, when they were actually going to the college, I told them one thing. Then that was that all. I told them that I'm sure that you all will become a very good engineer, successful engineer. Soon you will earn like 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs of salaries in India. But I asked them that be a better human being always, because I believe that if somebody has a human spirit, then automatically he will become a good engineer, a very good professional, star employee in the company they will work with, and definitely they will become a responsible children and citizen. So the same message I would like to give to all of you. And when I look at you, when I perceive, I see that I'm still talking to my nephew and nieces. So I'm not going to talk about anything new. But to set the agenda, what we are going to discuss in the 45 minutes, I have written down the high level points. So I'm already introduced to you. So second, I will talk about my journey. In my journey, it's not going to be an orchestration of myself, Rather than I will tell you like what were the good things I have kept doing, and what were the weaknesses or my mistake which I committed and which I had to rectify it later, or maybe I'm working on them as of today. So the rationale is that you guys do not come into the same spot and commit the mistakes, and uh, so moving to my journey. So you guys today are sitting in Jaipur ICFI University. I have got graduated from engineering college in Sikar, where Arun sir was used to be my professor. And from Sikar, and I grew up in town called Ajmer. So from there, I have come to today to Greenville, South Carolina. So I would like to tell you my story, and then you may ask yourself a question: if I can do this, then what is stopping all of you? Okay. And my message to the graduate engineers will be that initially in the profession, the 2 to 3 years of our career is about learning and figuring out what eventually we want to pursue. So the office environment will be totally different from the protected environment of our college and home, but it will keep you become professional and teach you to lead by yourself. So don't you worry if you do not see your impact in initial years. It's just the foundation you are building. So when you have a very good foundation, from there on you can decide that suppose you are working in a say Infosys. So after working for 2 3 years, you can take a toll and you can retrospect that if you are liking the thing, you may continue doing that. If you think that you are you have inclination towards consulting, so you can start moving into the consulting side. If you think that you really need to brush up some skills, you still may think about going for masters. And if we have a very old trend in India to go for MBAs. People have been doing it for the last 20 to 25 years. So that's how you should proceed when in the initial days of your career. So I would like to share some of the decision I made that has really helped me shaping my professional career. So when I will take you to back in 2008. So I had joined the Dassault Systems subsidiary back in India, 3D PLM in Pune. So things were going really fine, and I thought that I'm really cruising well. When I joined them, and I joined them with the objective of getting a career stability and growth. So, and I was rather lucky, and that I got some international engagements to be done. So I did travel to Japan for 3 times, twice to South Korea, one time to Vietnam. But what happened was I got a critical feedback, and that has surprised me. So the things which were I was missing were highlighted. So I had two choices: that I could have come out of the organization and go somewhere else. But rather than coming out of the organization, I chose to work upon my weaknesses. Uh, and when I worked on my weaknesses, I had the best of my appraisal ratings in 2011. So the takeaway which you guys can have it from this communication is that uh, that if somebody who runs away from your problems, his problems and weaknesses, then they will come back to you. So the point is, we have to analyze our strength. At the same time, we have to analyze our weaknesses also, and we have to work upon it. Then after that, I have carried the momentum, executed the things which I was doing. And again, I was given opportunity to execute a project in Italy. I traveled to Italy for 3 times. I was there for good 7 months. And after that, I proposed to my bosses that I am ready, and I well deserved for taking a bigger engagement. And my I was rewarded with a you may say transfer. I will call it as a deputation to United States back in 2014. So there is a takeaway at this point, that I was transparent. My bosses were transparent to me. I was transparent to them, and I I improved on communication. I understood what they were saying, and then I reflected, working upon it. Okay. So after the arrival in United States, new life and journey began upon my arrival. So the best thing what has happened in United States in last 6 years is that my transformation began. What transformation I'm talking? The transformation from being a software developer to a software consultant. So we all know that uh, in across the globe that people believe that India produces software developers in a mass, but they keep telling us that they show like that okay, we have got enough software developers, but after some time we really need to transform ourselves into something big, become a good consultant so that we can go to the customers, talk to them, provide them the solution. Okay. So here there is another takeaway which you can take is that unlearning and relearning. So when I came here, I forgot what I did in my first, say, 8 or 9 years of professional career. And because here everything was new, the country was new, culture was new, and Americans, they worked differently than what we did do in back in India. So when I was preparing myself for this session, so I have categorized this session into two parts. One is the soft skills and one is the technical skills. So in my opinion, I discussed with my colleagues as well. So we came to a conclusion that this only 40 to 45% is our technical skill upon which we work. Rest 50 to 60% is our soft skills, which we will be talking about. So that's why we will first talk about some of the soft skills, because these are the skills which are not taught in the colleges. We have learned it in our professional career very slowly and gradually. So I will go one by one, and then rest of the time we will spend in the technical skills. Okay. A quick check on the audio. If I'm going very fast or I'm going too slow, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, thank you. So we'll spend some time in the soft skills. So what is one of the quality of engineer? One of the quality being an engineer is we have to be constant learner. So Albert Einstein once said that once you stop the learning, you start dying. So and in today's world you see like every time I think very often we have to scratch out what we know because and our managers and the market demands that we learn new skills. So whatever we have been doing like for 10, 15 years, we have to scratch it out, learn new things, what is trendy, and what is the vision of the company. And for that you really need to keep learning, and this is undoubtedly one of the best quality of an engineer. The second point which I would like to talk about is being a team player. So I would like to quote one important line, and it's a proven fundamental, and that is we succeed as a team and we always fail as an individual. I repeat, we succeed as a team and fails as an individuals. And here I would like to quote a example from a book called India Unbound. So in that, the writer Mr. Gurucharan Das says, and by the way, Mr. Gurucharan Das was the president and director of Vicks Vapor product and P&G Procter and Gamble India before he retiring in late 90s. So he says that Indians are not good players or good workers. So when somebody will read it, he or she will get offended. But later the writer has explained that we Indian, or in fact, he is talking about all the East Asian people, that we are made to believe right from our childhood that we have to compete, be the best, be the best, else you will perish. And one of the old saying which we have heard from our childhood, that पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब खेलोगे कूदोगे बनोगे खराब. So this is what stuck to our minds, and still we carry this as a stigma, as a old wagon onto our shoulders, right? So therefore my advice to all of you as young ones would be to be good at collaboration, enjoy being in a team, share knowledge, solve the problems of each other, listen to each other without care to answer first, and as always, be inquisitive in work. Always ask the right question. Always be inquisitive. No question is foolish. Wherever you go, this is one thing. If I go back into my school days and college days, I think I had never asked a question to, and there were so many things running. It was not that I was not inquisitive or I had the clarity of any subject, but this is something that has come over the period of time. Okay, so when you be a team player, one of the benefits you get is that you will surprise yourself how much you achieve learning in a team rather than working as an individual. And this is today, this is the ask by almost all the employer in the world. They want team players on their team. So this could be your another takeaway from this point. Now, coming to the next and very important part, that is your communication. You have to be presentable, and communication has different parts: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. So I request all of you to read Economic Times or other book what you like. If somebody is today following Elon Musk or Mahatma Gandhi or anybody, if you follow Sachin Tendulkar, then you read the books what are written on Sachin Tendulkar or the books they have recommended and endorsed all their life. Okay. Apart from that, there are another soft skill. Without going into the deeper thing, I will only talk at the very high level that we need to carry a very good attitude. So recently, I'm coming out of an engagement. So one of the feedback I got was like I had a very good attitude, and it has surprised me because I was thinking that somebody might be judging me based on my technical skills or whether I am were able to deliver, मैंने काम अच्छा किया या बुरा किया. But that senior manager, my client executive, he replied that you had a good attitude. And so the thing is, somebody when tells something good about you, we have to carry. It should reflect on our resume. We have to always remember that. Adaptability is another thing. Being dynamic, a good team play we have already talked about. You have to be transparent. Okay, you never lie, because back in America, when they speak like they say, honestly speaking. But one of my managers told you that why people do that. You have to be honest with your customer. You are not supposed to lie to them. Okay, so be transparent. Have an ability to deliver. At end of the day, like we all get the student syndrome, but at end of the day, we deliver. So like same what how you guys prepare for the exam, sometimes we are also in that kind of mode. So have that ability to deliver and have a good subject knowledge, and you have to continuously upgrade yourself. So these are the some of the top qualities a engineer or a professional should carry with him. Okay. And last point is, if you really don't have anything, then you have to work hard. The hardworking people never fails, and hard work is substitute to almost everything and anything. Okay, so work hard. Next point I would like to talk about is that sometimes we all have a failure of the fear of the failure. So don't be afraid of the failures. And so I would like to quote that the success is not built on success; it's built on failures. So it's built on frustrations, and sometimes the success is built on catastrophe. So never have this failure, fear of failure. I would like to give an example of Google. So how they work now, the how Google works and how the traditional engineering companies, you may call it GE or say General Motors works. So in Google, in the traditional engineering company, they don't have a margin to fail, because a lot of things comes into the picture. So they avoid the failure. But at Google, what they say, and recently my organization have also done it in engagement at Google. I heard it from my colleagues. So they say, like, go forward. It is okay to be failed. How many times you will fail? And they endorse this thing that the failures will teach us how to go into the right direction. And one of the thing next is I would like to talk about networking. So you create your own professional network. At the same time, you are blessed that ICFI University is giving you a connection to your alumni network. So create relation, nurture those relationships, and take leverage of your ICFI alumni. And when it comes to take help from the ICFI University, I would suggest you that you go and help out first, and rather than asking for the help. And we may call it in the modern time like hashtag give it back. So we have to give it back to the society from where you have come from, because when I look back, my school, my college, my entire family, some of my friends are still lives there in this society. So as a responsible and sensible citizen, I have to give it back to them. Okay. And one thing, like in the initial days, what mistake the young people do it, like sometimes they try to be over smart. So you have to be smart, but never be over smart. Okay. So, and when you, some of you will be, taking the interviews, when you will go into the placements and talk about yourself in the campus,
Yes,
outside
sir.
the campus, right? Any message for me, Yogesh?
Sir, I want to ask a question that when a client delivers you a project, so please, sir, explain something about software development life cycle, from
Okay.
planning to its implementations to its execution. How
Okay.
your team delivered that project completely and successfully.
Okay, so this was one of the point when I have written, but let's take it right now. Maybe we might not have that much time. So the SDLC, I will tell you the main components. So what happens is that initially the front end guys, we can say that like sales folk and they also have the technical sales guys, they reach out to the customer and they endorse their demonstrate their products. So if the customers are interested, right, sometimes the market leaders, the consulting partners like companies like Deloitte, Accenture, so the customers, they hire them. So suppose the an OEM, suppose when Dassault or companies like say Google goes to some customer, so the customer, they hire the consulting partner to see that the products are really worthy. It's worth to invest into those products. And then when they get a go, then they chalk out the project planning. So what happens is then your services and implementation partners come into the picture. So every company have different arms, like they have R&D, they have sales, they have pre-sales, they have support, they have professional services. So I belong to professional services. All my life I have done professional services. So when the implementation begins, so professional services come into the picture. What they do is they analyze that how much the product is a fit in the customers' business processes. Any gap that is identified is sampled and written into the specifications, that okay, we have to deploy the product, but we have to bring these changes, right? So we chalk down, we call it as a specifications. Let's not go into the minute details. Then what happens is the resourcing is done, the people come on board, people like us, we develop the functionalities. Then our Indian partners comes into the picture, and a project is executed, UATs goes on, testing goes on, and then the customer goes live. Customer also seeks for the post go live support for some time, and then there is a any product company comes up with their technical support also. So down the line, if customers face any issue with their products, they reach out to their technical support. So these are it's very common now. How you run the project, industry have so many new things, like these days agile is trendy. Earlier the other business models were followed, right? But these are the common components of how a project, or how what are the different components of a SDLC.
Okay, sir, please talk something about DevOps model of software development.
Okay, so let me finish this last thing. I here on this point I will touch one more point, and then we will only address. That will be our last point as the technical skills. Okay. So I didn't wanted to include this point, but when I was discussed, two of my friends have asked you to pass this message of that today we live in a very stressful world. So do not get stressed and take care of yourself and your health. Maintain healthy lifestyle and meditate to focus. So you can opt anything which works for you. It could be any cardiac activity. It could be yoga, or that could be strength trainings. It really helps control your anxiety and works as a stress releaser. Okay, and there's a very old saying that healthy body is healthy mind. So now we will move into our third point, that is technical skill. We spend some time there, and then we will conclude the session. So I believe that the technology is always secondary. The what is primary is the technical skills. So need of the hour today is to learn new skills. So last week I was talking to my resource manager. So I asked him straight that what is the message you would like to give me during this pandemic. So he told me that learn the new skills as much as you can, and he also mentioned that this is something which he is telling every individual in his team. So today we are a part of a paradigm shift where colleges, universities, and companies have started thinking that what they are teaching is really never get utilized when we onboard. So if I look into myself also, like what I do as software architect, so these are the skills I have learned on job. They were never taught in the school. So uh, and some of the things which I would like to tell you is that just a moment. So I will suggest in this time, and what industry demand is that you guys go through some online courses. Like there is something called as Coursera, Udemy. Okay, do the courses and highlight them on your resumes. Okay, keep doing your SWOT analysis. SWOT is a very traditional and old tool, but it works in the modern time as well. So know your strengths and weaknesses before you see it coming from other people. Okay. So I always tell myself that you be the best judge of yourself. Analyze it before somebody else point it out to you. Okay. And some other like there is something called as Goldilocks principle. It's a traditional principle there, but it's still in today's time people use that in the business. You need to improve your knowledge of surroundings. And I had a point SDLC, but we have already talked about. So, and the last point is that update your resumes and on a regular basis. Okay, if you learn some new thing, reflect it on your resume. If you think that something is old, it's done, there are so many resources out into the market, remove that. Okay, so let's talk about the skills, the technical skills which are highly desirable as of today into the market. So when I was thinking that now internet is everywhere, the knowledge is everywhere. So instead of starting with the jargons like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and looking at the audience of ICFI University, I'm only suggesting you like what will fit to you as of today. Correct. So if the machine learning, artificial intelligence, they are in the initial phase. So companies have recently started investing, and their choice is really very different. They want experts. They want people to onboard from the premium institutes worldwide. So if I am in ICFI Jaipur today, those things will come to me when I have improved myself. I have got the experience. So you may have to hope on to from one company to another, and then you will be fit to where tier one companies who have their investment there, and they will be ready to take you. So what are the skills where or you talked about the DevOps things, so where you have to focus is, so one is my straight answer would be to you would be cloud computing, and preferably AWS. So why AWS? Because AWS has 70% stack as of today. So they have 70% market capture, which means that they have the maximum jobs out when it comes to the cloud computing. Okay.
Yes.
So, right. So the basic thing when it comes to any technical skill. So I will tell you that be skillful, you will get a job. If you are skilled, if you know, then companies will pick you in the campus and outside the campus. Outside the campus, you will be given the opportunities to prove yourself, and you when you prove that, you will be hired. Okay, so be skillful. And some of the things which I will straight talk about, I'm not endorsing it, but what I hear in the day-to-day life when it comes to technology. So some of the buzzwords, or you may say that the talk of the town, are like Python, React, React Web, Angular JS, Docker, React Native. Right? Okay, so now the focus on the web development. All these products like Facebook, WhatsApp, they all use these React natives, and or you may call it the mobile development. Okay, and some of the old technologies, because a lot of product, almost all the product are written on Java, C, C++. So they always win. There are always jobs out there, and I would like to mention, like, these days the learning is very cheap. Okay, so look, today I'm sitting here, maybe 12,000 miles, but I'm able to interact in Jaipur. So you can, if you want to really learn, if you really want to understand something from anybody, you can reach out to him, right? So spend your time. So I would like to give you a reference of Tanya Pratap. You might be knowing him. He runs his own YouTube channel. So he has already structured the learning path, and it's for free. That's why people say that nowadays the learning is actually cheap. So he has course in web development. Then he gives you exercises. When you do that, and he's also, I have recently learned that he's also able to connect people to the employers, and people are actually recruiting. And something which came as a surprise to me was when I hear that people are getting more salaries than what they get in their campus placements. Okay, so these are the things which will suit if I am graduating from ICFI Jaipur University. But again, when we said that we have to unlearn and relearn where this whole market is going as of today. So some of the point which some of the technology and the desirable skill which I see, I would like to mention them. So we have machine learning, artificial intelligence, then we have deep learning, Internet of Things, cloud computing, we already talked about, cyber securities, blockchain, robotics, virtualization. So you already know, like, how people are moving to the cloud. CRM is also has created a lot of jobs, especially Salesforce. Then Apache Kafka is there, business analytics is there. You guys already had the sessions on some of the things like business analytics, machine learning, IoTs, right? Very good session. So stay connected with those people. They can define your path if you really want to go into those directions, right? So and at the same time, because I am into information technology domain. I don't work in India, so this is what I see here, and I see how the market is going. But at the same time, I will request people that to follow their dreams. Like, if somebody have really interested in the administrative services and foreign services, Indian public sector, then do pursue them. Take those exams, and there are very good Indian public sectors, like, if I remember right, NTPC is there, ONGC, BHEL, SAIL, Power Grid. They equally and along with the job security, what you get is equally the same compensation, and they allow you can still prepare for some higher examinations, IAS, IPS, etc. Okay, so that said, I think whatever points which I wanted to cover with you guys, I have covered. So before, I would like to conclude that the first foremost important thing is focus on what you are doing today. If you are pursuing mechanical engineering, so your first objective should be to focus on your graduation. go into the deep, have a clarity of the subject. If you are doing computer science, and so that is your primary, you will be judged on based on what you have got in those examination. Okay. We already talked about that. You need to connect with your ICFI alumni network, contribute before asking help. You help others first, and follow your passion, follow your dream, do the things that brings happiness to you. Just by seeing that, okay, my class topper is going into that direction, maybe that is something which I should follow. No, you look into yourself, you do your analysis. Nobody knows you better than you, so follow what brings happiness to you. Okay, and then stick to those things. What I try to do in my today's life is that if somebody which gives my happiness, I try to do that thing. Okay, at the job and in my personal circuit as well. Okay, so with that said, I think I think whatever I felt was necessary, I have told you guys. Okay, and I would like to thank all of you once again for giving me this opportunity to come and interact. I thank ICFI University, Mr. Arun sir, and all the this organizing committee for this. And it was absolutely my pleasure. And thank you. So we can take the some question and answers if we have.
Uh, Sir, I have a question that what technical skills should a full stack developer pursue in its
Please say again, please.
undergraduation? Sir, what technical skills should a full stack developer should pursue?
Okay, so I already talked about this. So we have this some our legacy technologies on which most of the products are developed. Java is there, C is there, C++ is there, and the trendy things like Python is used in machine learning. So Python is there, and then web development. So web development technologies like React and this simple JavaScript. So anybody, doesn't matter whether if you are computer science graduate or you are mechanical, electrical, electronics, or even civil engineer. If you want to come into the field of information technology, they can start with JavaScript. Then when you go into the JavaScript, there are the divisions of React, Angular, React Native. Okay, so you need to have those skills learned, and they should reflect on your resumes.
Sir, is there any scope of PHP nowadays?
PHP, I do not see into in my surroundings. So honestly, I cannot comment on that.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have another question that how should an engineer develop business ethics? As it is the very crucial point for engineers to develop such type of skills.
So recently, I have my eldest nephew. He is graduating from IIT Guwahati. He got placed in one of the startup, but he have a casual behavior. So I told him that you have only 2 months that you will start your job. So now from the student life, you will start transforming into a professional, and this transformation will start from the day one. So what is your preparation? Okay, so business ethics we have already talked about. So if I have to recap, so some of the points I will say that you carry a good attitude. Okay, some our text coming in. Okay, so some of the, if I sample the, carry a good attitude, learn new things. Okay, ask right questions, and be involved in your organization. Okay, and that's what the topmost thing which I will say. Have a very good communication. Okay, let me give you an example. So when today I'm going to I will not mention the name, but it is one of the biggest American and worldwide companies. Their revenues are like 230 billions every year. So the people with whom I am working there, so one of the person, he brings multi-million dollars for his company, and he comes from consulting. So he's not getting those multi-million dollar for his companies using his technical skills. He have got another skills. So
Yes.
if you want to be a successful, if somebody is thinking that I cannot program very well, I cannot talk about the technologies, so it is okay. You have got better things. Maybe you might find yourself fit there. So that's what I said. You look into yourself and follow your dreams. You know yourself better than anybody else. So don't be just a sheep walker like what mass is following. You look into yourself. You have got your alumni network. Talk to people. Okay. Always have your personal consultant ready. Somebody in any part of the world who is not your friend, who is not your parent, and talk to them on at least once a year. They will tell you whether you are going into the right direction or you are going to the wrong direction. They will give you ideas also that try this thing, it might help you. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Dhruv and Mudit, if you have any question, you can ask. Hello.
Dhruv, are you on
Hello?
mute?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, I have a question. The question is, do you see really like programming really have future in IT sector?
It's an interest.
Programming languages.
Okay, I think yeah, it will be remain there for some times. It's again like that. What we hear on the news, सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा, सृष्टि नष्ट हो जाएगी. But that never happens, because we are creating a lot of data. We are coming up with a lot of product tools. Customers have application, and they will be really very resistant to move into that kind of world. But yes, those things will be there. But what the future is, like machine learning. Even I myself was told 3 years ago by my manager, okay, and that what you do today down the line, those things will be done by machine learning. So how do you prepare yourself? Okay, but that is coming, but it will take a lot of time. We will get a lot of resistance. So what we have in our hands is gonna be there.
Sir, there is a question from Abhiraj Goswami. What if our passion is in the thing that the mass is following? Then what should we do?
Follow your passion.
Okay,
I said,
okay,
follow
sir.
your passion. Don't follow the mass. If I am there, I will follow my passion.
It's good, sir. Sir, what qualities should you think that an engineer should always have in its undergraduation and post graduation?
So when I started this webinar, I talked about human values, right? So, and I would like to repeat, and this I tell to myself, my spouse, when my toddler will grow up, my parents, everybody around, that we have to have that human spirit, okay? A very positive attitude towards the life, okay? We are blessed. I am blessed. You all are blessed. And whosoever who is coming across this webinar now and after, we are blessed that we are privileged that we have got opportunity to, learn, go to good schools, look at the investment our parents have done on us. Okay. So always be positive. You have to learn, work hard, be sincere, and I'm sure you will be successful. And do the thing what suits you. You can sit on Google. The Google will give you 50 top qualities which a professional should carry. So out of those 50 qualities, if you only have 5, then you will be successful.
Sir, internships and experience matters when we sit for the placements.
Not really. Uh, anything which puts on your weights on the resumes, right? But if somebody is really working hard and if he's not going getting the internship, but if he have very good academia, if he have very good technical skills, he's good at communication. So it will speak it out because he has worked for that like 4 years. And how much you will get the internship just for 2 months, right? So your 4 years of the hard work will always be heavier in those 2 months of internship.
Okay, okay. Mudit, you have any question?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So
One thing,
thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir.
so one thing also, like every day you can start your new day. So like we are engineers, we have to uh, we have to be dynamic. So sometimes we regret, if I would have done that thing that point of time, I could have been there, I could have been this, I could have been that. And I will tell all of you one thing, like in today's, during this pandemic, we had choices to waste our time. We could have played free online games. We could have take a graduation degree from WhatsApp University. We could have simply like and dislike on Facebook, Insta, and we could have also gone through that stupid media which is people are creating. But what good thing what we did is we decided to invest this time because we all want to be a successful. And so I tell myself also, so bring the change into yourself, what you want to see in your surroundings. Stop complaining. First, bring that change. So this change you are bringing into yourself, I am bringing into myself, and all who are hearing and getting tuned to this webinar. So, we are all moving into the right direction. That's what I would like to say.
Sir, question.
Yeah, go ahead, Dhruv.
Sir, for being placed in like such companies, is it really necessary to work on projects like real life projects during undergraduation?
Yeah, again, a plain and simple degree would be like after doing the 8th semester, you have secured, say, 70% marks or 80% marks. So people know that scoring marks is not that difficult. But on top of that, today the industry demands that how you have transformed and implemented the theoretical language into practical life. So you really have to do some good small project, do some small projects, and as part of the curriculum you will be. So basically the thing is, how, if I have to pick 5 people and there are 500 people in your university, how you yourself put yourself in those 5 people, right? How you are different. If I sample, I'm sure that out of 500 students, at least 400 would have 70% marks or 80% marks. So I cannot pick those 400 path. So my criteria to pick those 5 people is going to be increased, right? So the short answer to your question, Dhruv, is yes.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful session. Now we can conclude. It was very knowledgeable and informative. We are glad to have you as our speaker today. And sir, we are looking forward to organize such sessions with you in the future also. Sir, one thing I like about you is you talked about the human values and the
Yeah.
various business ethics that an engineer and a person should have in its whole life and its corporate life. So, sir, thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. It was really a wonderful session.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
everybody. Pleasure was mine.
Hello.